Hello, hello, hello. I don't get what's going on. Hi, I'm JoeHart. I'm a person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. I'm going to go live tonight. I've had a pretty it's been a pretty interesting day. I've been up and down. I mean, it's been the Murdaugh case has been pretty, but I don't want to talk like everybody else. Everybody's going to talk about that tonight. So anyway, okay, what am I doing? Oh, gotta get this. So hello, JoeHart. I'm JoeHart. I'm a person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. I do a fair amount of things in life. The biggest thing is I'm disabled. I don't work. I'm on a fixed income. I'm an advocate. But if I were to say that I do one thing, which I don't, I do multiple things. But if I did choose one thing to say, I would say that I do. I'm an advocate, and I'm kind of selfish and stuff, or I've learned to empower myself or whatever. There's a. I didn't have many advocates, so So anyway, so I'm primarily a self-advocate, but I have, when people ask me, I have a lot of experience with being a therapeutic foster parent, and I was a substitute teacher, and so between those two, I learned a lot about IEPs for students in school. And Liza Rowe, hello again, Joe, my friend. Hello, Liza Bell. Thank you for showing up. So, yeah, I was, being an advocate, I was able to do self-advocacy, but then people would ask me and stuff. So, that's if I wore one hat, which I do not. I'm a live streamer. That has gone through a lot of transitions. I first got involved with live streaming in 2015, roughly. That's roughly when it was. And it was Meerkat. Meerkat was one of the first platforms. I think the first platform, or at least the first major platform, was Periscope. And Meerkat was shortly thereafter. And is that a St. Patty's Day? I can't see that. It's cute, but I can't see it. It looks like a St. Patty's Day. It looks like St. Patrick. But anyway, so I did Meerkat and stuff, and I was just streaming a lot of things, but I got involved with motorsports and I got really involved with politics, but just during 2020, I covered as a media person, and then in recent months, I was, my mind, like I said, when I started this stream, I apologize in advance if I'm all over the place. My brain is kind of mushy. I've had some conversations with some people that I, know and love and trust and believe and all that stuff. And then also this Murdaugh verdict, I can't believe they decided so quickly, and I can't believe it's a guilty verdict. But I did have a lot of, I don't, anyway, when I was tested, my stories are all over the place. And then I'm like, well, I have to preface. But when I was tested for disabilities, they said, well, what is your goal, Joe? What do you want to do with this testing? And so I told them, and they said, okay. So they knew how to the professional doctors knew exactly how to get there, so they thought, which they did. And, and at the end of it, they said, and by the way, we have not exhaustively tested. We just want to make sure you understand that we didn't do every test possible and eliminated all of them, but the ones we gave you, the diagnoses they gave me. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So, anyway, I don't believe I'm on the spectrum. There was, certainly some considerations about that. So, I don't think I stim. That's one of the things they say for people on the spectrum is they stim. They stim, they stimulate, they overstimulate. So I think I do similar things, but it's not, I don't think I'm on the spectrum, but I don't think I stim. And, I always get up, it's like when I use a word, I want to accurately define it, and I probably would butcher it. So I don't want to try to define it. But anyway, so, it was, I think I was going to talk about the jury will do whatever they want. And boy, did they prove that. I didn't, usually I'm way up on things. I think, there's times that, with my OCD and everything else, I operated at 85, 90%. That's what I like. Cause I like perfectionism, which I, fall desperately short of that. But, and then sometimes when things aren't going exceptionally well, I operate at 40%. So I think I kind of feel that today. I think I'm operating at a 40%. So I do really apologize. But yeah, I usually I'm right on things. Brian Enton, I know exactly when he posts things. It's I hear about it, but I was late today. It was like 15 minutes and I'm like, oh no, there's movement, so I was like, and they weren't sure if it was a question for whoever the jurors would ask a question of, I guess the judge or all the lawyers or something. So they weren't sure if it was a if it was a decision on the verdict or if it was a question, which, Brian Enton is usually ahead of other people. And I think he's very reliable. So did the doctors tell you that you were in the spectrum? No, I had asked them to test me, and they said, well, we don't think you're on the spectrum, but we're not, they're at my mercy, but I'm one of the people they're consulting with on my situation and diagnosis. And I think they're the experts. So that was fine. But I was one of the persons there. So he's, it was a she and the main one. I had a team. But the main one was a female. And she said, well, I don't think you're on the spectrum, but the only way to test adult spectrum, or I think any spectrum, but for sure, adult spectrum, you have to talk to family members. And I'm like, well, I'm the youngest of 9, but I'm estranged from them. And I don't know if they agree with, I don't know if they have the same philosophy that I'm disabled and, things like that. And so she's like, well, it's your choice. If you, this is what needs to be filled out. And they gave it to me. And I'm like, oh my goodness. That was, I was like, wow, my sister would know. And she was trying to say, this is who you would pick, like it's usually your parents, but both my parents are deceased. And then it could be my siblings, which I'm the youngest of 9. So some of my sisters were kind of like my mother anyway. And so I was like, they may know that information, but I don't know if they'd be willing to do it. So I'm sorry, Liza Bell. I have good friends on the spectrum. You don't seem to be on the spectrum, but I'm not a doctor. And I don't think I am. I think, a lot of people talk about ADD can be, similar to the spectrum and it can overlap and stuff. And anxiety can, mask a lot of things or mimic a lot of things. I think, I certainly don't, I'm not, what's that called? I'm not envious of the doctors having to figure out diagnoses for everybody. I'm not just talking about for me. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I am, but I learned, when I was a therapeutic foster parent and a substitute teacher, a lot of times were living with and going to school as a substitute teacher with the same population. If not, sometimes it was the exact same person. So I and whoever lived with me would leave our house and go to school. And then at school, I would sometimes cover them at school, which didn't happen a bunch of time. I don't think you want that all the time. But anyway, I don't know if people know about I don't know if people know a lot about the DSM and the DSM-4 and stuff, but I'm heady and I think a lot and I have to research things. And so I had access to a DSM-4, and I think, within a year or two of being a foster parent, I purchased one, is online and it wasn't full price and stuff. But anyway, the way it works for me, which I've heard other people make this joke, and it's a joke, but it's serious. But, people say the more I read the DSM, the more diagnoses I think I have. So it's, it's something you got to stay away from. But as I'm researching my boys, I had a niche. I usually worked with teenage boys. I don't know if people know about foster parenting, but generally nationwide, 85-90% of foster parents want babies, and 85-90% of the foster kids that are available are teenagers. So it doesn't match very well. Everybody wants a baby because then it comes with less history, shall we say. So anyway, but anyway, I had a niche. It was teenage boys. It was pretty intense for sure. Most of my boys were going from kiddie jail to my house, or from my house to kiddie jail. That was my niche. So, and they would be going to court, and they could pick one person to go to court, and they do not pick their biological mother and father. They picked me, and I'm like, holy shit. I'm not, wow. Oh, I'm sorry about the language. I don't mean to be vulgar. I'll try to watch my mouth and my, I can't do these, I can't do those. So, anyway, I'll try to get better. I'm trying to, I'm trying to revamp a lot of stuff. And, I go through getting inspired. Oh, by the way, this weekend is still, it's still getting, trippy. I'm still hoping to do quite a bit about Formula One this weekend, IndyCar this weekend, and NASCAR this weekend. And just to give you a overview, I don't think this will be anywhere close to the number of streams I'm doing, but just to give you an overview, and it all starts tomorrow. There's events on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And Formula One is in Bahrain, which is, I think, 8 hours ahead. So it's, for where I'm at, Eastern Standard Time, the first event is tomorrow from 6:30 to 7:30, and I know I'll be doing that. But anyway, races, yes. So yeah, I mean, it's a wild weekend. So anyway, for tomorrow, there are 2 Formula One events, 2 IndyCar events, and 5 NASCAR events. So that is 9 events tomorrow. I'm not going to do nine streams. I wanted to write down all the times and figure out how many I can merge together and stuff like that. And I also may burn out, so I may not do all 9 events. But anyway, that's 9 events tomorrow. For Saturday, there's 2 Formula One, 4 IndyCar, and 4 NASCAR for 10 events. Saturday, just Saturday. Again, it won't be 10 streams, but it might be 4 or 5 streams when I merge them all together. May not do every event, but I might do every event. Again, I'm going to, I won't be showing the actual race. I won't be actually showing the stream. I'm trying to figure out how that works and stuff, and I'm getting some information that there are certain ways to do it, but I haven't. I'm a real black and white person. I'm not good at all about the gray area. But anyway, currently, I'm going to say I'm not going to be showing the race or the qualifying or the practice, but we're going to have live leaderboards and sharing of videos. And I don't, it's still evolving. Sunday, 9 races, not races. That this is everything. These are every series or every race or whatever. They roughly have practice, qualifying, race. So yeah, not 10 races, not 9 races, 9 events. So Friday is generally practice type stuff. Saturday is generally qualifying type stuff, and Sunday is generally racing type stuff. And I've said for the last couple of days and weeks, 95% of the population watch the race, and 3% of the population watches the qualifying, and 0.5% of the population watches the practices. So I'm OCD. I like to cover it all. So it's not typical. It's not nearly as exciting. It's whatever. So anyway, 9 events, not races, and I have them summarized here. I mean, I don't. I'm trying to get my organization. So anyway, so there's 9 events tomorrow, 10 events Saturday, and then Sunday. Yeah, so practice, qualifying, and race. And some have testing, which is pre-practice. So testing, practice, qualifying, race. Most every series has all 3 of those, not testing, but the other 3. So anyway, Sunday is Formula One has 1 race, IndyCar has 2 races, and NASCAR has 1 race. So that's 4 events on Sunday, and all 4 of those are races. So 9 plus 10, which is 19 plus 4 is 23. So there's 23 events in 3 24-hour periods. I don't plan. Right. I watch the races. I can get bored with the lapses. Do you mean laps? Yeah. So you don't mean laps of a brain, right? I watch the races. I can get bored with the laps. I think you mean going around the track. So yeah, practice. I mean, it's not for everybody. It's not for the weak or whatever that thing is. Right? Let me try. I'm going to take a drink here. And this is opening weekend for Formula One. And I want to start off perfectly and try to continue it for Formula One. This is opening week for IndyCar. I want to do it perfectly. Now for NASCAR, this is the 3rd week for NASCAR. We've already done, Daytona, and we've already done Auto Club Speedway. And, it was pretty cool and pretty exciting. And I had a lot of involvement from viewers and stuff. And we did various things. Again, I wasn't showing the race, but there was other things to keep people's interest. And the thing that seems to work best for me is if as many laps. Fry my laps. So yeah, I mean, and you're a typical Liza Bell. I mean, that's typical. People are like, what? And I would Fred Cohen, and you're on YouTube. Hi, Fred. I think you normally say hi to me on Facebook, which I know you very well on Facebook. And I think once you came from LinkedIn, I think, which I know I follow you on LinkedIn. And wow, tonight is YouTube. So thanks, Fred. Thanks for showing up. It's good to see you. I'm just doing different things. You've seen a couple of my streams, and you know that I tend to be, various topics are all over the place and stuff. So yeah. Hi, Fred. How are you? I hope your family's well. I hope everybody's doing well and stuff. It's good to see you. So, and again, I'm glad you're on YouTube. You can come, any of the platforms are fine with me. So, and I think you've done one of each. I think you've come on Facebook. I don't know if it's Facebook profile or Facebook page, and you might be on both, but I think you're on Facebook profile. So yes, LinkedIn too. That was when you came on LinkedIn, I was so surprised. I was like, wow, I'm getting a comment from LinkedIn. And I was like, wow, it's Fred, So it was so cool. I'm glad you came. That was so neat. So anyway, we had already talked about Murdaugh a little bit, and I just wrote kind of random topics to try to Twitter too. You've seen the live Twitter. Golly, Fred, you are just a rock star. Thank you for being on all my platforms. Thanks for indulging my, my OCD of needing to be everywhere. So I generally pick topics, and this is actually what I picked last night. So after Twitter, you see it. It says Murdaugh, F1, IndyCar, TikTok, Twitter, and then it has the number 2, which means part 2. So I picked all this last night, but I didn't have a 1. It just said Twitter. And then, so I'm trying to revisit those. The Murdaugh is, I think, amazing because they decide it, and they, the jurors came back with a verdict, I would say, quite quickly. And it was guilty for all 4 charges. So that's blows me away. It blows me away. They had no weapon and a lot of circumstantial evidence. And what's the other type of? I think it's called direct evidence. There wasn't hardly any direct evidence. So anyway, Fred, I'm not sure. I think you're just a great person to support people. So I'm not sure if you came for specific topics or whatever, or you're just supporting. But so we talked a little bit about Murdaugh, and you feel free to make comments, or if you want to stay on that. I was just talking about my motorsports, Formula One and IndyCar this weekend. Starting tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, is opening weekend for both of them. That doesn't always necessarily happen in the same weekend, but this year, I think Formula One is the earliest they've been in like 15 years. So I think normally IndyCar starts, IMSA starts first, then NASCAR, then IndyCar, and then Formula One. But anyway, this weekend, it's both their opening weekend. So, and then NASCAR. So, I could talk to you on LinkedIn. I don't know why. I did see you on there. Yeah, no, you can be anywhere you want. I like YouTube. I'm on StreamYards. I'm streaming from StreamYards, and one of the features of them is they let me stream to multiple destinations. And we've talked about most of them, but I generally stream to 6 destinations. I'm having a little glitch with one tonight, so it's only 5. But I'm right now, I'm live streaming to Facebook profile, Facebook page. I have 2 of them. I don't totally understand them. LinkedIn profile, YouTube, which is the platform, which is this. That's the foundation. That's usually the biggest. So yeah, I love you being here. Anywhere. I like support everywhere. And then Twitch is the 5th. And then Twitter, starting a week ago, I started having some challenges. And, I shared something that, I needed to modify my video. And since then, Twitter's just been having some challenges. So earlier tonight, I tried to just go on Twitter live, and I checked a couple of accounts, and they all seemed to work. So I thought this was going to work tonight. So anyway, so that's what I do. I go to all 5 of them. So you can, Fred, you can go anywhere, and don't feel like you have to hang out. I love all support. So anyway, and those are just topics. TikTok, I'm trying to get up and running on TikTok. As I was just saying a few minutes ago, NASCAR started 2 weeks ago. Oh, well, there's the preseason, but the points races, the full season, started two weeks ago. Oh, you couldn't talk to me. I couldn't talk to you on LinkedIn, and I don't know why. It just wouldn't work. Okay, I'm sorry. I could talk to you on LinkedIn. I don't know why I didn't see you on there. Yeah, that's a week ago, I got into a little trouble, and I needed to, I mistakenly showed parts of preseason testing video. And so, they were saying, you can't do that. You got to either block that part of your video or erase it and stuff. So I think what happens a lot of times is that once it's disabled and then you do stuff to re-able it, I think it still has, remaining, what's it called? Lingering. It may have still lingering things that don't let it's not fully functional. So I don't know what's happening. Thank you for letting me know. I'll try to follow up on it, but I'm not real technical, but I'll try to follow up on that. So, I don't know why either, but thank you for coming here. I appreciate the persistence and all that kind of stuff. I really hope to get the Twitter going. But anyway, like I was saying before, this is an action-packed. Oh, so not only is Formula One and IndyCar their opening weekend, NASCAR, which this is pretty often, but this weekend NASCAR has the top 3 series. Like NASCAR, for the people that do or don't know about it, there's How's the Family. They're they're doing pretty well. My loved one is an adult. I don't want to, I stream, and so I talk about myself, but I they didn't sign up for live streaming. So but anyway, my one loved one is an adult, so I don't see them very much, which is fine. I mean, you want to have them sprout wings, and so and then my other loved one has anyway, I'm the youngest of 9, and I'm kind of estranged from them. But everybody's doing good, so thank you asking. I love your stuff, Fred. I love the photographs and the birthdays, and I mean, you all just seem. It's really neat to see that. I would just say not all families are like that. So anyway, it's cool to see. So anyway, I hope to and I'm disabled and OCD. I want to do this perfectly. But anyway, like I said, the 3 big things, Formula One, IndyCar, and NASCAR. And, a year ago, I got involved with Idaho 4 in November. And then all the motorsports kind of fell to the side. And I said, that's so shallow. I don't think I'm going to do it anymore. So, yes, thank you. So Liza always helps me get back on topic. But anyway, if I had to prioritize, I would do Formula One first, IndyCar second, and NASCAR third. And there's many reasons for that. But anyway, so Liza Bell says Formula One, GP, Grand Prix. GP is the name. That's the name of all Formula One races. Grand Prix, the great prize, I do believe is what it stands for. It's French, I think. F1 Grand Prix. 2023 Sakir, I think is how that's pronounced. It's in Bahrain at the Bahrain International Circuit. And that is a time. I think that says 9 o'clock. I think, let me see. That might be Central Time. Anyway, it's a pretty action-packed thing. Friday, March 3rd, there's 2 practices, free practice 1, free practice 2, as always. And then Saturday, March 4th is free practice 3 and qualifying. Or they call it quali. And then March 5th, Sunday, is the race. Now, it's on ESPN. I'm sorry, the first 4 events are on ESPN2. So that will be harder to have everybody watching to have that on their TV. Not as many people have ESPN2. The race, which is not always true, but this weekend, it's on ESPN1. God bless you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that too. That's what's so cool about your family. So, I mean, that's some great stuff, Fred. Whew. That is some good stuff. I like that. So, so March 5th, Sunday, so anyway, there's a pre-race, and then it's the opening weekend. Anyway, there's a pre-show. I don't know what to call it. So the pre-show starts at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and it goes till 9:55, and then 5 minutes before the race, it switches over, but same channel. So the race is at 10 a.m., and they always must end in 2 hours. There's exceptions to that, but they generally end way before 2 hours, but it would start at 10 a.m. Sunday Eastern Standard Time. So I think that 9 probably is Central Time. I don't know, but tomorrow the Formula One. Sorry, my mistake. I a lot of times say words that I'm not supposed to, that are wrong. But so March 3rd, Friday, the 2 events, free practice 1 is at 6:25 to 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Second event, free practice 2, 9:55 to 11 in the morning. And that's for Friday. And then for March 4th, Saturday, this is rarely true, but for this race, Friday and Saturday's times are the exact same. They're not usually that way because they want the drivers to test the tires during the morning sun and in the afternoon sun and during the nighttime. They try to test different things. This is the exact same time. So March 4th, Saturday, free practice 3, which they can just be called practice. Practice 1, practice 2, practice 3. I don't really know what the free refers to, but that's what it's officially called by F1. So I call it free practice. So free practice 3 is 6:25 to 7:30, just like free practice 1 on Friday. And in the qualifying, which they fit that in an hour, I love qualifying. I think qualifying is the coolest thing in motorsports. I like qualifying probably more than the race. So qualifying on Saturday is 9:55 to 11. So that's, and then, like I said, the race on Sunday is 8:30, 9:55, 10, and it goes till noon. Now for IndyCar, and I should probably try to, let me go off screen here. So that's NASCAR and that's IndyCar. So I'm going to pull up. So I'm going to pull up, with my handwriting and hashtag, highlighters and handwriting and Post-it notes. A lot of times it just works to look at the original thing. Sorry about all those Nightbots. Those are, I, of course, fundraise, and I do appreciate all my partners and sponsors. And I do fundraise for StreamYard. It's entirely fine to just ignore all those. I don't mean to, I do it elsewhere. So not everything is, anyway, just ignore it. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to go off screen. No, not off screen yet. So I'm going to present, share screen. Now I'm off screen, share screen. St. Petersburg, share. Liza Bell, F1 information. Thank you, Liza Bell. So, so that's here. Let me, well, what's that? Wow, cool. Thanks. So, okay. What channel? So General has my comment. Let's see here. Oh, man. That's some controversial stuff, but what the hell? We can probably talk about it. Bayron track for tomorrow. Yeah, it talks about how it was canceled. It was first postponed and then canceled in 2011 for, the way they treat people. And so yeah, let me okay, yeah. Let's let me do the Bayron thing. Let me full screen Sorry, that wasn't. Exit full screen. Remove from stream. Stop screen. So, okay, so let me go to Discord, and I clicked on it. Race fans. Racefans.net. Boy, there's just so many things I want to do that I don't get ready. Racefans.net. Okay, so invite. No, wait. You want to come up on panel? I just hit the invite. That was incorrect. So present, share screen. Bayron. So racefans.net on Twitter. Oh, golly. I hope to get talking to them. Is that sharing? So, okay. So, I don't know a lot of this stuff. Okay. So, okay. Oh, I just wanted to share the track, not the controversy. And unless you want to talk about it. Okay. Yeah. We'll see how it goes and how it unfolds. But thank you. I appreciate that. So I'm going to do full page layout and then go off screen so I can see the track. And I don't know all the tracks, off the top of my head. I don't know if you know much about NASCAR, but NASCAR has a joke about all you do is turn left and then turn left and then turn left and then turn left. And of course, Formula One turns left and right, and they most commonly turn right. So anyway, this is a clockwise track. There's there's places that tell you how many left and rights. I'm sorry, I just don't know it. But yeah, this is the shape. And in the lower left-hand corner, is that, there's stuff all over my thing. Let me try to get rid of that ad. So yeah, in the lower left-hand corner, and then another ad comes up. I guess ads are going to just, I don't, I apologize if any of my ads offend you. I don't mean to offend people. But anyway, okay, so as you see, it looks like there's 15 turns. So in the lower left-hand side, it says 1. It also says 320. I'm not sure what the 320 is. 287, 293, 306. Yeah, I'm not sure what those are. But that might be elevation. I'm not sure what it is. So anyway, the black and white checkered flag is a start-finish line. And then those two lines together, the outside line is the track and the inside line is that's the, can you see my cursor? Maybe okay. So if you might be able to see my cursor. Let me see. Oh, it looks cool. Yeah, their stuff is, most of NASCAR, and there's exceptions to everything I say. But NASCARs generally have 4 corners, and they're generally left. There's exceptions, but this is pretty typical for Formula One. They have they have 15 corners, and let me get rid of that. They have 15 corners and left and rights. And like I said, on NASCAR, on Formula1.com, they have a circuit tab, and it tells you how many lefts and rights there are. I think they do. So anyway, I'm going to go back off the screen. So anyway, yeah, the green, white. Okay, my tab, my cursor. And I do apologize. I'm what happened there? So my cursor is on the black and white checkered flag. That's start finish, and it goes clockwise. So it hits 1 here. I don't know what the 320 is. And so it's a right turn, and then 2 is a slight left turn, and 3 is a slight right turn, and then a pretty long distance. That might be the distance. Let's see, 320. That is very possibly the length. Yes, that's probably what it is. This is probably 287. That's probably meters because it's international. I don't think it's feet or yards. I think it's meters. And so I don't 287 yards ish or 300 yards ish. What is anyway? I'll have to figure that out. So 3 is a slight right. 4 is a pretty extreme sharp right also. Now I think you're very knowledgeable. Thank you very much. I know, I've done a fair amount of stuff. I am OCD. I print things up. I have to make sure I see pictures. I got to know what's going on and stuff. But yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, blah, blah, blah. I believe meters. Yeah, probably, Formula One, it's got to be, that's Formula One is not a big fan of America, and they're not a big fan of, we think the world revolves around us. So, the race is kilometers. The race is not miles, usually. So that would mean that these are meters. Circuit info is after the controversy. Oh, wow. Well, let me scroll down. Let me see what's going up. And what is it? Human? Woo, that's a lot of heady stuff there. That's cool. That's cool stuff. Now, it doesn't say left and right. I don't see left and right. That's the most basic thing to know is how many left turns and how many right turns. Now, these DRS zones 1 and 2 and 3, that's a pretty cool thing, but I'm just finally getting to understand that. C1, 2, 3. So, yeah, let me scroll back up. Let's just go through the picture because DRS, which is on the map, I can probably kind of address DRS, but it's so yeah, let's go. Okay, so I'll stay on the screen. So I mean on your screen, but I'm going to go off screen so I can see the stuff closer. So I am now off screen. So anyway, in the top left corner, there's a 4. So that's a sharp right, as I said. Now, right after that, there's a 1 in black right there. And then you probably see a 2 there. And there should be a 3, of course. Not of course, but the 3 is probably somewhere over here. And every Formula One track or circuit or whatever, they're usually called circuits because they're not tracks necessarily. They have 3 segments or sections. I forget. I think they're called segments. And they're not equally split up. It's, it depends on turns and, the speed of the car and things like that. But that's the DRS zone. Oh, no. Okay, I'm sorry. It would only be 2. Let me see here. I have to read about it. So, okay. See, I don't know if y'all see that, the detection and activation, DRS zone 1, 2, and 3. So let's see. Turn 1, 2, turn 1 and 3, 9 and 10, 4 and 15. Race laps 57. That's another key thing too. Right. Left and right turns and the number of laps. And they have a formula. I've usually with everything I say, I don't remember much unless it's written down. Now, if I do 5 weeks of NASCAR in a row, I'll kind of remember stuff, but it doesn't retain. So anyway, Formula One has a formula. I don't know exactly what it is, so I'm kind of shooting in the wind. But all the circuits can be however long they want. They can be whatever the length they are. And I don't know the range, but, it's probably, well, Monaco is really short. So I think Monaco is 1.9 miles. And then the next one after that is like 3.2 miles or something like that. But they go up to 6, 7, 8 miles long. So the formula is you do the number of laps so that you do, and I don't know the number, but I think I'm right. You do 300 meters or something like that, or 200 meters. And that's, as soon as you finish that allotted destination, you stop on that lap. So you go at least whatever this number is, at least 300 meters, and then you stop. So yeah, those laps, it's precise, it's exact, even though some tracks are much faster than others. So obviously they would finish sooner because they're doing the same distance. So it's Formula One races are timed. It must be done within 2 hours. NASCAR races are not timed at all. They can take 2 hours, 5 hours, 15 hours. That's not happening anymore because of network TV. But there was a fire during a Daytona 500, and the delay because the fire was 7.5 hours. That was the delay. That wasn't how long the race was. The delay was 7.5 hours. And you know what NASCAR people do? They stay at the track. They go back to their camping. They drink a beer and they just wait. It's a delay. It's a race. They don't leave the race. So anyway, Formula One is timed. So it is kind of strange that they're going for 300 kilometers or whatever that magic number is, but yet some, the average speed is 62 miles an hour, and then some, the average speed is 127 miles per hour. And again, it's usually kilometer, but Formula One was bought by an American team a few years ago, so they're trying to get a little more American friendly, but it's still not there. I mean, they were bought, I think it was 5.5 years ago. I'm pretty sure, by Liberty Media, who owns everything's controversial. They own that controversial baseball team in America that changed their name. The Chiefs, or I'm not sure, one of them. Atlanta Braves. Okay, they own Braves, and they're American. They're 100% American, but they just can't convert Formula One. So they're anyway. They still do their stuff. So anyway, oh my goodness, I'm off topic. So I'm going to go back off screen and scroll up. So let me just see what this stuff is. So anyway, circuit information, lap data, lap length, 3.363 miles. Race laps, 57 laps. Race distance, 191.53 miles, which it says there, 308.238 kilometers. So I think the number is 308 or something very close to that. So as soon as they hit 308, they stop. Pole position, left-hand side of the track. I've never heard that. Lap record, 1 hour, 31 seconds, I think is what that is. And I have no idea who Pedro de la Rosa is, 2005. The fastest lap, 1 minute, 27.264 seconds. Lewis Hamilton. I keep telling everybody that everybody knows him, but I've found that not being true. So 2020, qualifying 3. I don't know what that means. Did he qualify 3rd? So maximum speed, 329.6 kilometers per hour, 804 miles per hour. I don't know if that means in what's it called? In instantaneous maximum speed? I think it is. That can't be an average lap. That's really freaking fast. So DRS zone 1, detection is 50 meters before turn 1, and then activation is 23 meters after turn 1. And the way, the thing that DRS does is Formula One doesn't want, they don't want cars to get stuck behind each other. They don't want it to be, oh golly, the faster car should just be able to pass, but they block, and stuff. So they don't like that. So what they set up, all cars do this, but if a car in back gets within 1 second of a car in front, just right in front of them, if he's behind 2 cars, take care. Yeah, thanks for coming, Fred. You're a wonderful supporter. Thank you so much. Say hi to the family. Take care of everybody. Take care, Joe. Have a great Friday and a wonderful weekend. Thanks, Fred. It's great to see you. Thanks for stopping by. So anyway, if there's a driver that's behind two cars and they're both within a second, it's only going to work for the first car that's right in front of them. But anyway, if you're within a second, the DRS can be activated, and the DRS just gives you more power, so you can pass quicker and get past them, and then it stops. You get it for a certain amount of time, and now, of course, if you're not really faster than them, then they can be within 1 second and you all can keep passing each other with this DRS. So assuming that the two cars aren't exactly just happen to be the same speed, but they're always blocking each other, then that can get pretty frustrating that they keep passing each other. Because, as long as you're within a second, you get that DRS activated. So anyway, that's probably a little over explaining of it. So let's go back to the so DRS zone 1, DRS zone 2, DRS zone 3. I think they're not all 3. I think some tracks have 2. I think most tracks have 2, maybe 3, and then I think some have 4. So distance from grid to turn 1, 336.49 meters. I mean, 300 meters, that's pretty far. Car performance, full throttle, 72% of the time. So anyway, that's why I was going to talk about aerodynamic. So look at this track and look at how many turns there are. And OMG, they do a 360, they're turning a lot. And they say 72% of the time on that track, they're full throttle. And that's because they have aerodynamics. So, I know this is true with IndyCar, but I think it's true with Formula One too. For IndyCar, the cars are so light and they have so much downforce that and I think it's true with Formula One, but an IndyCar race can be raced upside down on the ceiling. An IndyCar race could be raced upside down on the ceiling and the cars would not fall off the ceiling. That's how much down pressure, that's how much aerodynamic down pressure they have. And I think that's true with Formula One too. So if obviously you can stay on the roof and not fall off the roof, then that means you can be doing these sharp turns. Even that, where's my cursor? I don't know if you can see. That's probably the sharpest corner there, right in the middle there, that looks like I think this is a bird with a tail. I think this is his tail, this is his beak, this is his ears, and this is his eye or eyebrows. But this beak, I would say, is the sharpest turn. But because of the aerodynamics, they can almost go full throttle. Now, it does say 72%, not 100%. So they can't be full throttle. But there is tremendous aerodynamics. So it is pretty crazy. So, I'm sorry, I don't like that word. My bad. So, anyway, that's DRS number 1, I do believe. And then DRS number 2, that's probably not true. There's segments too. There's segment 1. Let's see what that says. I don't see any code. Let me see if there's what's it called when they tell you what's in the picture? No, I don't see any, you know what I mean, code off to the side. So anyway, a sharp right, a mild left, a pretty serious right, an okay left, and then this real sharp right, and then a mild left, and then a pretty sharp left, and then this is pretty strong. Now this says 293. Anyway, this was 287, so I think that's the meters. That's pretty strong. This is 293, so this is longer, slightly longer. And then you do a lazy but sharp left-hand turn, and then 12 is a right-hand turn, and then I think this is segment 2 instead of DRS, but I don't know. And then this is a pretty sharp 13, so it's zhoo. Anyway, this is 306, so that's the sharpest of, the longest. That distance is the longest of those 3. This one says 320, so this is the longest of the 4. I was just talking about so far. So 306, you go flying, and then you take a right on the 14, and then a mild right on 15. And then if you're pitting, you got to get into that inside. And if you're not pitting, you come across here. So that's a lap. that was a little, that was kind of time consuming and cumbersome, and I apologize for that. But that's a really cool, track. So Bayron's right there. Bayron's Grand Prix track is typical of most modern circuits, comprising a few long straights and slow corners. Following its first race in 2004, minor modifications were made to turn 4. 2 alternative versions of the layout have been used since. In 2010, a longer version of the track was used, but it proved unpopular and was dropped after a single race. Bayron was due to hold the second race of the 2020 season, but the race was postponed due to the pandemic. The track instead held back-to-back races at the end of the season, and the second was held on the shorter outer circuit. For the 2014 race, floodlights were installed, allowing the main event to be run at night. And like I said, for NASCAR, when there's rain, usually the first question is, does the track have lights? You want to know if it can continue and do stuff like that. So, okay, so thank you for that. Let me go. Remove from stream and stop screen. And let me go to that IndyCar thing, wherever it is. So I'm going to share, and I think it's sharing right now. Let me go to StreamYard. Let me get that off the screen. So I had a couple schedules that were mostly just IndyCar, but this schedule is, there's actually 6 different series, 6 different races kind of thing. And there's exceptions to everything I say. For the weekend, and this is the complete schedule. So it gets a little busy and cumbersome, but I'll see what I can do. So I'm going to take me off screen. So full screen layout, then I'm going to go off screen. So this is it. Wednesday. So anyway, it's the St. Petersburg Grand Prix version 3, March 1st through 5th. And that says USF Pro 2000 and USF 2000. That's the 3rd and 4th series of IndyCar. IndyCar is the top, and then Indy Lights have now changed their name to Indy NXT, and then, which is second, and then this is second and third. So anyway, Wednesday's done. Thursday's done. There's an autograph session. Friday is what's coming up. And there's a lot of busy work. Yeah, let's go to the back here. These are the series listing. USF Pro 2000 presented by Cooper Tires, USF Pro 2000, USF 2000 presented by Cooper Tires, USF 2000, very close, but 3rd and 4th level. NTT IndyCar Series, that's the top series, number 1. Indy NXT, I don't know how to pronounce this. It used to be Indy Lights. I think that's called Indy Next. I think NXT is probably pronounced Next. So Indy Next is the 2nd series. Pro 2000 3rd and 2000 is 4th. Then these two are like supporting, they're different things. MX5 is actually Mazda MX5. Anyway, I usually know it by their Twitter account. And then GT America. So that's a different series too. So those 6 are on this schedule. And then all of them have practices, qualies, and races. And some of those lower levels have more than 1 race. So anyway, it's busy, busy, busy. Friday, March 3rd. And I'll just try to do the key things, but it gets busy. I apologize. So 750 MXS practice. 835 GT America practice. 935 USF Pro 2000 practice 1. 1025 USF 2000 practice 1. 1115 MS5 practice 2. And as you can tell, practice is mostly Friday, and then qualies will mostly be Saturday. And then races will mostly be Sunday. Exceptions to all the things I just said. So GT America Pro 2, GT America qualifying, USF Pro 2000 qualifying. I generally like qualifying. How do they count accurate time in Formula One? That's a good question. Let me see. So, time. So it's a okay. So, Autosport is I'm off screen. That looks pretty cool, but that's real heady stuff. It's got the formula is D equals S times T over 36, which I would like, but I might glaze my eyes over. Not for use now, just info for tomorrow. Sorry, no, never apologize, Liza. I know I say things and never apologize. I really appreciate your help. I impulsively say stuff that, may not, whatever. Let me take, but I'm going to open it. Let's look at it and see what it does here. So remove from stream, stop screen, present, share screen. The art of timing, and share. And so let me take that off. So I'll write. Why don't we try a couple paragraphs and y'all let me know, like, let's move on, or whatever. You don't have to be mean about it, but maybe I'll try to read a couple paragraphs and then I'll skim down to the bottom. But so I'm gonna do as usual full screen layout, and then I'm gonna go off screen. So at the top, the art of timing. The secret of great comedy is in the timing, but comedy is not alone. When success or failure in Formula One can be measured in 1,000th of a second, the organization that runs the race timing has got its work cut out. Let me read that again. The organization that runs the race timing has got its work cut out. Yes, it wasn't too many years ago that a Formula One race was timed with a handheld stopwatch, and any two cars sharing the same 10th of a second were considered to have set the same time in qualifying for the grid. That would be so bizarre. Golly. Today, thanks to telemetry and sophisticated individual sensors on each car, I think they're called transponders. That's what they're called in NASCAR. The all-important positions of a Grand Prix car on the grid, or even during the race, can be and often are accurately measured in thousandth of a second, or to 0.001 of a second. To many Formula One, okay, I'm reading more than a couple paragraphs, but this is pretty cool. To many Formula One aficionados, the fact that Ferrari's Michael Schumacher lost the vital pole position to arch rival Jacques Villeneuve at the 1997 European Grand Prix was not a great moment in sports history. What brought that particular moment in time into the ranks of the X-Files and the paranormal was the fact that he did so with an identical time to within 0.001 of a second. Several minutes after Villeneuve had crossed. What? Several minutes after Villeneuve had crossed the finish line. I know these two names. I've been at a race with Jacques Villeneuve, Mike Schumacher. He's been in a vegetative state. It's very sad for about a long time, 8 or 10 years. We might someday read about that. I'm not, I like current stuff. I like newer people, but it is very sad. And it's a huge story of F1 is him being in a vegetative state. His son, Mick Schumacher, has just lost a ride in Formula One. Last year, he was in Formula One, and he just lost it for this year, which is starting tomorrow. So Anyway, if that was the mathematically improbable, what followed was the mathematically impossible. And it had veteran Formula One reporters looking up the telephones for special agents Mulder and Scully in their contact books. With Villeneuve and Schumacher sitting dead even on the clock, along came the Canadian Williams Renault teammate Heinz Harald Frentzen with exactly the same time, 2.001 of a second. The odds of that happening, as punters like to say, are astronomical, but happen it did. Since 1992, the company responsible has been Tag Hour. A week before every Grand Prix, the 20-strong Tag Hour timing team sets up the screens. Oh, 20 strong. I guess that's one for every team. There's 10 teams, 2 drivers each team, so that's 20 drivers. So I bet that's not an arbitrary number. I think they have 20 strong because there's 20 drivers. But it seems like they would need a couple people that do the general stuff. But anyway, sets up the screens and radio antenna that will allow them to time every second of the weekend's action, both in untimed practice and qualifying, as well as the race proper. It's a daunting task. So anyway, that's pretty cool for me. Thank you so much. That was so cool. I don't know if other people want me to keep reading that. That's cool stuff. I like to hear about that. That was neat stuff. I impulsively reacted, and it is words like I like words. I'm not a big fan of pictures and videos and charts, and I like words because. So anyway, it's kind of right up my league, right up my alley. So anyway, let me let me go back on there and just scroll to the bottom. So full screen layout, and now I'm off screen. So anyway, since 1992, it's a daunting task. It takes 16 on site to ensure the system largely relies. There are also sensors in the pits that detect when cars arrive and how long they stop in the pit lane for fueling and new tires. By the way, their pit stops are 2 or so seconds, which is insane. IndyCar, I forget what theirs are. I think it might be 8 or 9 seconds, and NASCAR is down to 11 seconds. So it's insane they can do 2 seconds. I mean, but Formula One, the whole car is picked up off the ground at the same time. So they can do all 4 tires at the same time. NASCAR, they only lift up the left side and do 2 tires and then drop and then lift up the right side. So that, I mean, there's many reasons that NASCAR is slower. But so stories of time and relativity, Tag Hour, the formula is D equals S times T over 36. D is distance in centimeters. S is speed of car in kilometers per hour. T, the time gap between 2 cars in thousandth of a second. So, for example, and these memorable, blah, blah, blah. So that is really cool. Thank you. So let me come back on screen and exit full screen. And I like the odds of timing. Incredible. One is first loser for a nanosecond. I mean, that's just amazing that they can be just right there. And, when they're going 200 miles an hour and their distance is 6 inches, that's a thousandth of a second, so it's, and many cameras can't, don't always pick up that 6 inches. They're like, who won? So that these timing loops have to tell us who won sometimes. So yeah, that is pretty cool. You're right there. That is really cool. So I might get back to the IndyCar schedule, and then I'll probably do the NASCAR schedule. Some of these schedules might be a little boring, but I'm sorry. But anyway, so this is back to St. Petersburg, Florida, mainly Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. And so I think I got halfway down here. So anyway, USF Pro 2000 qualifying, Indy next, practice 1. That will be something I probably cover tomorrow. IndyCar practice 1, definitely cover. USF 2000 qualifying, I don't think it's on anything. MX5 qualifying and GT America race 1. So that's the first page. Then we go down to Saturday. It goes from 7:45 in the morning to 7 p.m. That's almost 11 hours is what this schedule is. Almost 11 hours on Saturday. A lot of action packed. And events. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 events. 10 events on Saturday. So MX5 race 1, that usually means there's a second race down here, MX5 race 2. So Indy next, practice 2, USF Pro. Oh, that's a driver meeting, which is still an event, but no, I skipped those. IndyCar practice 2, that will be covered somehow. USF Pro 2000 race 1, GT America race 2. I don't recall race 1, I guess it was yesterday. Friday. Indy next qualifying. IndyCar qualifying fast 6. That's one of my most exciting. I love that. 2:15 to 3:30. I'll be covering that as much as I can. And thank you. Okay, so let's see here. My bad. So remove from stream, stop screen, present, screen share. So it's probably also boring. So yeah, I'll try to watch out that, I don't want to get too bogged down on the, okay. So pit lane time loss on this circuit is 18.9 seconds. So yeah, right. So even though their pit stop is 2 seconds, they have to go off the track, off the circuit, slow down, stop, change tires, and they don't get gas. I don't think you ever get gas in Formula One. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's weird because NASCAR does gas. But I don't anyway. So they get 4 tires and then they take off. But there's slow down, stop, and speed up, take off. So yeah, you're right. It's 18.9 seconds. So they're usually green flag stops. So you hope that you're in front of the car behind you by more than 19 seconds so that you can stop and still keep your same position. That's not always true. A lot of times you'll lose it, but everybody's got to stop. So you go back 19 seconds and then they'll go back 19 seconds and that kind of stuff. So yeah, great point. That's a great point. So okay, so I'm gonna take this full screen. So now I'm on the right page. I apologize for that. I'm still on Saturday, I think. So USF Pro 2000 race 1, and their laps are timed, whichever is first. So this says 25 laps are 45 minutes, whichever is first. Down here, 20 laps or 40 minutes, whichever is first. And every series has, their cars are different speeds. So they, decide. So GT America race 2. Anyway, okay, I got down here. The IndyCar qualifying fast 6. That's really cool. 2:15 to 3:30. I'll definitely be showing the live leaderboard for that for sure. I mean, that's really cool. I think so. I might have to bring people along on the excitement of this stuff, but so far it seems, I have a couple of viewers that seem to have really gotten into it in a fairly quick. So anyway, so that's MX5 is the number 3. And then Sunday, it's mainly just the main race, but there's other things going on. So ignore that. USF 2000 race 2, 20 laps or 40 minutes. Indy NXS race, 45 laps or 55 minutes. See how much faster that is? That's almost 1 lap per minute. The other one is 1 lap per 2 minutes. IndyCar race, 100 laps, from 12:30 to 2:30. I think it's lapped. It is timed. It should say 2 hours here. It is timed. So, so UFS. So anyway, that's that. Let's exit full screen, and then stop screen, and then present. And again, like I said, it's going to be another schedule, but it's you know, it's kind of cool. But I didn't have a bunch to share. I was thinking of possibly doing Murdaugh and stuff, and TikTok, you know, talking about, which I can go. I'll share TikTok. I'll show that stuff. So so this is full screen layout, and then I'm going to go off screen so I can see what's going on. So this is NASCAR. So this is NASCAR's weekend, and as you can tell, it starts Friday. It starts tomorrow, Friday, March 3rd, and it's at Las Vegas Motorsports in, you know, North Las Vegas, but they call it Las Vegas, and that's Pacific time. So these times are all Pacific time. I printed it up and I added 3 hours to it, so I would know the time for when I'm streaming. So these are not when I'm streaming. These would be 3 hours behind when I'm streaming. So anyway, 2023 weekend schedule. Everything has sponsors. Sometimes they have, I forget what the additional thing is called. Like, just for example, if we go to Friday, 6 p.m., that's the truck race. So it's called Victoria's Voice Foundation, which is the sponsor, but it says presented by. So I forget what that's called, like the secondary sponsor. So Victoria's Voice Foundation, which is a new sponsor, and I followed them. I follow all the sponsors, presented by Westgate Resorts, and then they say the series, NASCAR Camp Craftsman Truck Races. So I was just pointing out the sponsor. Same thing. Saturday is Alsco Uniforms 3000, and then the Sunday is Pennzoil 400. They're all, but that has a presented by. It's pretty new for the top series, the NASCAR Cup Series, to have a presented by. Usually Pennzoil covers it all, so it's just Pennzoil 400. And any entitlement sponsor would usually be, but now it has a presented by. So anyway, you can't live without sponsors and partners and stuff. So they're all over the place. So, okay, let me go off screen just to make it, or on screen. Sorry, Liza Bell. Let's see here. So I like, yeah, isn't that I like that 18.9 second. That was so cool. So Liza Bell says the rules and regulations in Formula One racing do not allow the cars to refuel between the race. FIA decided to ban the refueling process from enhancing the crew's safety and reducing costs. I didn't think so. And I think I've seen one race. Oh, I'm off screen. Sorry. I think I've seen one race where it was going to end and people are going to run out of gas. And I think they had to figure something out, but I think they just ended the race early. You know, they just said, just drive until you run out. Whoever is the furthest, if no one gets to the, and I my memory's not, it's shot, but I think I remember something about this. But I think, you know, they said, if you don't get to the green, white checker, if you don't get to the checker flag, just everybody drives and whoever gets furthest wins. So it's weird. You know, I like NASCAR. I like the gas. I like and you know, I mean, there's plenty of people that have caught on fire, and it is very unsafe. Even with fire suits and stuff, it's really unsafe. And some of the fuel, I do believe this is true. I wish I could verify it, which you could probably look something up, Liza. But I do believe, don't quote me until it's been verified, but I do believe Formula One fuel, when it's burning, you don't see it. It's not, there's no flame. When it's burning and there's a flame in the Formula One fuel, you don't see a flame. So you do not know it's on fire. You'll get burnt just like regular fuel that you see the front flame of. But yeah, it's a weird kind of, and I think that's true. Like I think airplane fuel doesn't show flames. I mean, that would be so weird. to have something burning that you can't see. So anyway, in NASCAR, of course, you can see the flames. So I guess that makes it a little safer. But anyway, they go too long. They go 500 miles and they have a smaller gas tank, so they have to go forever. Formula One, they go, 300 kilometers, which is, 191 miles. Pretty short race. They have a bigger gas tank, much lighter car. I wouldn't say their gas mileage is phenomenal, but a much lighter car. So anyway, they can do a lot of that stuff. So, okay, cool. Thank you. I will take that off, and then I'll go full screen layout, and I'm going to go off screen. So, okay. So, anyway, I'll try to go as quickly as I can. I don't want to waste y'all's time too much, or you're not wasting. I appreciate you being here though. So, I get. So Friday, March 3rd, Victoria's Voice Foundation 200 NCTS race. That's NASCAR Camping World. Nope, that's what it was last year. NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Sorry, excuse me for all that. So, without going through all the time, because that is Pacific time. So everything, we would have to add 3 hours to all that. So let's don't focus on the times, but Truck Series practice, Truck Series qualifying, single lap. They go one at a time and they do one lap. And then Xfinity Series practice and Xfinity Series qualifying, which is this second race here. So that's a different series. And then 9 p.m. is Victoria's Voice Foundation presented by Westgate Resorts NASCAR Craftsman Track Race. And they have those stages, which is, every race has 3 stages. There's a different, there's one fire video. Oh, can you see it? Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah. I just got thank you so much. So 6 p.m. So anyway, there's stages, most every race, but one has 3 stages. The Coca-Cola 600, it's 600 miles. So it has 4 stages. So anyway, and they're not, sometimes they list, this can be cumulative or these can be individual. I think it's cumulative. So I think stage 1 is 30. I'm pretty sure stage 2 is 30 and that's cumulative. And then stage 3 is 74 to make it cumulative. I doubt if it's 30 and then 60 for the second and 134 for the third. But anyway, 201 miles. And then Saturday, yeah, I want to go check that out. So let me come back on screen. Exit full screen, remove from stream, stop screen. Okay, so I'm going to go to I hope this is not Formula One. Now, also gas, this is a really old picture. So the gas could have changed by then. But, by Invisible Fire. Holy moly, you found it. So anyway, this is by Vipsen95. I like to ask for forgiveness and permission. And I'm not up to speed on that quite yet, but I plan to. And I will send it out for sure. So, so back here, present, share screen, Invisible Fire. That's so intense. That is so intense. So, okay, let's, Nightbot, it gets your stuff off the. So even though the teams require clever strategies and tactics to manage without refueling, it is a critical safety step. And tires are really important. But yeah, it's there is strategy and there's just so much stuff. So let me I'm going to bring this full screen. So full screen layout. And I'll probably even do it even. So I'm going to go off. Oh, wait, let me take this off. So I'm going to go off. I'm off screen to y'all. Now I'm going to bring it full screen. Another version of full screen. So it's an hour. I mean, I'm sorry. It's 1 minute 45 seconds. 1 minute 45 seconds and it's called Pit Crew Engulfed by Invisible Fire. It looks really old. This is probably 30, 35 years old. But okay, here it goes. Let me watch. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Here we see a different incident. Sneever's car is in the pits, and it backfires, causing Rick Mears' car to burst into flames. This is a fire you cannot see. It's an alcohol fire. Both Rick Mears and his chief mechanic are alight. You cannot see it, but they are engulfed in flames. The difficulty for the marshals is that they cannot see the flames, and here they try desperately to put the flames out. Mears grabs the extinguisher to douse himself, and there the mechanic is leaping up and down. He's burning, and they cannot see it. The marshal's dilemma is that this fire is not visible. To compound the problem, behind Mears is a tank containing 200 gallons of highly inflammable fuel. We still see the marshals desperately trying to put out the flames on the chief mechanic. They cannot see these flames. It really is a terrible problem. They submerge the car in extinguishant in the hope that they have extinguished all the flames. The biggest risk to the mechanic is the inhalation of flames. But Rick Mears is better protected, and we shan't know whether he's been seriously injured until his helmet and balaclava have been removed. His wife is frantic in her anxiety. It would seem that Rick Mears has escaped serious injury. We see the incident in replay. Rick Mears is frantically trying to extinguish the flames. He's helpless without a fire extinguisher. The marshals, once again, are unable to see the flames that they're directing the extinguishers at.
Oh.
The chief mechanic is in agony. He's helpless to attract attention. An alcohol fire provides one of the most serious dangers in motor racing. A hazard you cannot see.
Oh, I didn't commentate. Sorry about that. So exit. Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, not awesome, and that's horrible, but I mean, the way he was jumping up and down. I mean, I'm a wimp. I could never do that. I'm not going to do something like that. But if I were in this situation, which I'm not going to be, but if I was in the situation, I would probably always want to do drop and roll. You know, you would always want to try to pull, you know, that's what you do when you're on fire. You're supposed to drop, rock and roll, or, you know, there's 3 words. I forget, but one is to drop to the ground and to roll. And there's a third one, but I forget what the third thing is, but you know, again, I would have done that. I would have dropped. Now he was probably standing up because he wanted to make sure he got everybody's attention, which he did not. That one guy in the red, which I guess was the mechanic, Rick Mears, I think was in yellow, and the mechanic was in red, I think. And that would, anyway, I would have dropped and rolled or whatever. What's that third word? I'm forgetting. So crazy. So it's shocking. I understand the rule now. Yeah, I mean, they don't want to be adding any fuel. And I don't know if that time immediately they shortened all the races so they could be one gas tank, plus they probably made bigger gas tanks. You know, I mean, the car changes about every year. So that's 45 years ago or 35 years ago or something like that. And it's probably in the description. I didn't look, but you know, that's a, you know, so the car probably changed every year. So it probably got bigger and, you know, that kind of stuff. So that is wild. Thank you for sending that to me. I don't know. I'm off screen looking at it, see if it does have a date on it. Given that the pit crew was engulfed by invisible flames, I'm guessing they were probably off their game for the rest of the race. That's horrible. This driver probably received an invisible trophy. Golly, they're trying to be funny. I should have read it first before I read it. So, yeah, that's some stuff. So I'm going to go to, I'm going to wait. Okay. So I'm on your screen with nothing added yet. So I'm going to go off screen, but you'll still be able to see me. And I'm going to go to my TikTok page and try to refresh it and then show the stuff. I'm actually a little worst about some of my TikTok stuff because I'm boring. I'm an old man and I talk instead of having dancing monkeys or half naked stuff that, most of the TikTokers do. But it's me. It's what I do. So anyway, I'm now off screen. I'm on TikTok. I'm going to refresh it. So I'm refreshing it right now to get the most current numbers. And then that come up. I don't know why that came up. And it's talking. I don't like that. Okay. I'm refreshing it, but it's not doing it correctly. Okay, it worked correctly that time. So I'm going to mute the site, I think. I mean, I did. And I hope that's what I want to do. So anyway, I'm going to present, share screen, JoeHart TikTok, which is JoeHart 35, and then it shares. And then I get back on screen. Oh, let me take that off. Sorry that I keep forgetting about the comments. They block so much on the screen, which I love the comments, but anyway, so full screen layout, and then I'll go off screen for me also and go to TikTok. So anyway, that's it. JoeHart 35. That's the actual account. The handle is at JoeHart 35. And then my name, which you don't care about names, you care about handles. You care about the thing on top. But my name is JoeHart, PwD's Advocate 88. And then 369 following. My followers are currently at 655. I hope one of my fairly short-term goals is to go live on TikTok, and you need 1,000 followers to go live. Now, in last July, I had like 13 followers. So I grew 642 followers in very quick. By November, I had all of them because I was going to a lot of races and people loved my stuff, and it grew. And then poof, the season ended. So I still would like to get there. I need 345 followers. Please follow me if you want. 7,500 likes. That's small potatoes, but it's me. Okay, so I'm going to so let me get back on screen. So I don't know. I mean, you can't read everything perfectly, but and I didn't mean to do this the way it worked out, but it looks pretty cool. Or it's it's distinguishable. I'm not saying it's cool, but let me go back off screen because I'm already off screen. So anyway, the top left, you see it in blue and it says Peacock, and then the next one to the right of that says NBC and it's in red. Those two are for IndyCar and Indy NXT. Now, the next three of that row, it says ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN2. And then the next row, the green and the red, it says ESPN2, ESPN2. So anyway, those five I did. Oh, it says Bayron too. Oh, I didn't see the description at the bottom. So yeah, Indy next by, and then Firestone GP, which is the main race. And then the next five are Bayron. Anyway, I'm still growing. I'm small potatoes. But for those 5 Bayron Grand Prix, which is, free practice 1, free practice 2, free practice 3, qualifying and race. That's the 5 things. And as you can see, the oldest one, the red, is the free practice 1. So that was the first one I did, and then the green, and then I don't see the other colors. But so anyway, the first one I did had 274. I think they're called views, or I forget the exact term. So 274, 182, 150, 185, 212. I don't know the reason for the inconsistencies of those numbers. The 274 is probably the highest because it was the first, but the 212, which is the second biggest, that's the race. That probably should have been higher than it is. And the 185 is qualifying. So I don't quite understand everything. And in these, these IndyCar, it's just a smaller series, but 27 and 16. So anyway, that's all I wanted to show for them. I'm sure I'm off screen. I'm sure as this plan I have, the grand scheme, or the grand plan of doing multiple motorsports every weekend, but starting with TikTok and Twitter earlier in the week, and then going to Twitter Live and StreamYard later in the week. I assume that will be including showing. I don't know why I'm clicking that. Oh, let me see what's going on here. Woohoo! A little dark. Sorry. I would probably start showing TikToks and stuff. And like I said, they're just not spectacular things. But so that's probably enough of that. Let me see. I will do remove from stream, stop screen. And I'm going to go off screen. So Gail Spencer responding to I'm sorry, I don't should probably. So I'll show my Twitter. After the Murdaugh verdict was returned and announced, I was kind of jacked up, and I was talking to a few people, and I'm like, I gotta do something with this energy. So my stream right now, I normally stream to 6 streams: Facebook profile, Facebook page, LinkedIn profile, YouTube with no descriptor, just YouTube, Twitch with no descriptor. And the 6th is usually Twitter. But starting a week ago, I started having some problems with my Twitter, so it's not streaming. So I wanted to talk about Murdaugh, but I also wanted to do Twitter. So I actually tested some of my various different accounts and about Murdaugh. And, I always talk too much. So the first time, which, we could probably aim for 2 hours on this, by the way, or sooner. I'm okay with those kind of things. There's let me go off. You need to. Okay. So article for Formula One, fuel used these days, not for now, just collecting information. Cool. I'm hoping you can see it. I mean, I think I hoping you can see it, which might not be, thanks. Thank you. So, and sorry that I missed that. I don't know when it came, but 3 minutes ago. Okay. So thanks. So I was asking people questions, and I got some, the majority of traffic on Twitter, which I guess is true with a lot of platforms, is from the website. So they also can't make comments. For Twitter to be the most effective, you go to the App Store, you download Twitter, you set it up, you set up an account, you start following people start following you, you get a timeline, and you start going and stuff. And then, stuff happens. But I don't know why I discussed that. But anyway, I have a couple. So anyway, I didn't get a lot of, I got plenty, I got 200, 300 people watching the stream live, and 10, 20 people making comments. So there's a lot of activity. But I said also, I want to thank the people that watch this as a replay. And but I had some questions throughout it. But anyway, people were answering the question. So I want to show that. So and it's it's probably more exciting to me than anybody else. So anyway, present, share screen, Twitter, share. Cool. So So let's see here. So I'm going to take this off. Full screen layout. I'm going to go off screen. Where is it? There it is. Let me see what y'all see. Okay, so I'm looking at the orange thing in the middle. That orange profile pic and Gail. So that's what I'm looking at. She responded to one of my questions in my live stream that she watched it recorded. And I'm going to probably click on that and maybe even go look at my live stream. So, and I hope I get JoeHart's permission. Oh, I hope I don't forget to get JoeHart's permission. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. I'm going to go off screen. So, these are called notifications. So Gail Spencer, Gail Nameless 464, replying to NASCAR Inc. That's me. I thought it would be guilty in 6 hours. Close. And then I'm going to click on this. I think it's going to go to my, it says go up. So that's, Murdaugh verdict, Murdaugh trial, Murdaugh. What do you think of verdict? And it's just me talking to the camera. That's not the total time, but it was pretty lengthy. I did talk a little bit. 266 viewers. So 1566. I'll show a little. I get a little embarrassed about my voice, as most people do. So let me... I'm not sure why I'm not. I thought you just clicked on it. Okay. Well, I guess I don't want to show it anyway. But anyway, I was testing the stuff and it seemed to work and stuff. And damn. So I'm off screen. So exit full screen layout. Remove from stream. Stop screen. Okay, so I'm going to just go off screen to look at what I got. So I got Twitter. That didn't seem to work. I can't get it to work for some reason. Maybe I'll try this part. Yeah, it's not going to work. Okay, so and then the Las Vegas Motor Speedway schedule, I didn't finish that. I don't think so. I might get back to that. St. Petersburg, I do think I finished that. I'm back on screen with StreamYard. Nightbot. By the way, I have Nightbot in, as y'all can see, I have Nightbot in StreamYards, which means it's in YouTube. But I've tried to add it to Discord. I'm trying to get a little more involved with Discord and knowledgeable about it and how to do stuff there. But I haven't figured out Nightbot yet. I get it and stuff comes and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so Nightbot, home, J-Ski Silly season site. That's for NASCAR. TikTok we looked at. YouTube. There's stuff going on. The Bayron thing we showed. The Art of Timing we showed. And Pit Crew engulfed by invisible fire. Golly. So, okay. So, maybe I'll just finish the Las Vegas. And yeah, let me do that next. So, share screen. Pennzoil weekend schedule. Share. Come back on screen. Full screen. So I'm off screen. And now I'm going to go back off so I can read it more. So I think we're on Sunday. So anyway, oh no, we didn't do the bash. Okay, we didn't do all. So Saturday we have again, these times are off by 3 hours, so it probably doesn't help to read those. So Cup Series practice, and then Cup Series qualifying, single car, 1 lap, 2 rounds, and then the Xfinity Series race, 1:30 p.m., which is 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All school uniforms, 300 NASCAR Xfinity series race, stages 45, 90, 201, 300 miles. Now this is kind of cool. These are the legend cars and the Bandolero cars, and these are for like little miniature kids, like 6 years old and 8 years old and stuff. And one of them is Brexton Busch. That is Kyle Busch's son. I don't know his age, probably 8 or 9 years old, and he's pretty good. He's kind of like his father as a little miniature Kyle Busch. So I don't think this is on any streaming. I'm going to try to figure out how I can get to it possibly. But it's the bash at the Bull Ring. And the Bull Ring is just one of the many tracks at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I think they have 5 tracks. A lot of tracks. NHRA for hot rods, and the Bull Ring for dirt. And, they have a lot of them. So anyway, it's USLCI Legends and Bandolero races featuring Brexton Busch. That's 4:36, so that's 3 hours later. 7:30 to 9 for that. Okay, so let's go to Sunday. Sunday, March 3rd, Pennzoil 400, presented by Jiffy Lube, NCS race. Like I said, it usually is just the one entitlement. It's usually Pennzoil sponsored by itself, one entitlement sponsor. But this adds a presented by Jiffy Lube. Anyway, a bunch of things happened before it, but the race is 12:30 p.m., which is, that's Pacific time. So it's 3:30 p.m., but really green flag is much later than that. Their stages 80, 165, 267 for 400.5 miles. So anyway, I'm going to take that off here. Exit full screen layout. Remove from stream, stop screen. Okay, so I think I went through them all. Twitter, I wish that would effing work. NASCAR schedule, IndyCar schedule, StreamYards, Nightbot, J-Ski, TikTok, YouTube and other live streamers. Bayron International Circuit, which was really cool with all the turns, and the art of timing was really cool. And pit crew engulfed by invisible fire looked horrible, and I felt for him, but yeah, that was a pretty intense thing. So anyway, I think I'm gonna head out. I think it went pretty well tonight. As I started, I was saying, I'm sorry, I'm a little not feeling, I'm not really up to speed, and my head's, my brain's kind of mushy because of the Murdaughs and the guilty verdict. It was so quick. It was so soon. That's probably what I'll do. I'll probably go to Twitter Live and talk more about Murdaugh. But and again, I'm bummed that Twitter doesn't work here. I hope that shortly StreamYard/Twitter can figure out their incompatibility, because it's wearing on me and I'm not super technical. So I can't, I have a couple of viewers that are quite technical and quite brilliant, and they can, figure things out pretty quickly. But I wish that was working. So anyway, to end the stream, I used to have a script because I need to stay focused. But I haven't looked at that script in weeks. I have started organizing stuff in my apartment, so I might refine that. But when I did an intro, I would mention certain things, invisible disabilities and blah, 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 and the 6 streams that I was, streaming to and all that stuff. And when I say goodbye, it's kind of the reverse of all that stuff. Same kind of thing. So I don't have it in front of me, so it might be kind of butchered. But anyway, I'm going to start signing off. On Meerkat, it'd take me 45 minutes to say goodbye. I'm much quicker these days. It's probably 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Don't hold me to that, but I try to do it fairly quickly. And I know once you start saying that you're about to sign off, everybody just leaves, which is fine. because I said it. But anyway, JoeHart, a person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. I'm an advocate. I'm a live streamer. I cover motorsports. I'm still a crime sleuther of sorts. I might delve into other things. I might start going back to races and doing media at the race. Probably not, but I might. So anyway, again, thank you to the 6 streams. I'm still trying to learn about that, but thank you for watching and thank you for the comments. Facebook profile, thank you. Facebook page, thank you for your comments and your views. LinkedIn profile, thank you for yours. It was good to see one of the people tonight there. And then YouTube is kind of the foundation. That's I'm still learning the difference about StreamYard versus YouTube, but they're kind of associated and similar, but they're not exactly the same. But I haven't totally figured it out. And then Twitch, I know nothing about it, but I can live stream to it. And Twitter, as you know, I can't figure it out. Something's going wrong with that. So anyway, I usually talk about my stumps. When I started doing streaming a couple of months ago, I had a lot of people saying, "Oh, thank you. I'm trying to learn StreamYard, and I appreciate you stepping through it." And I know it probably rubs some people the wrong way, but it keeps me focused too. So anyway, I'm going to hit end broadcast twice. You have to hit the button twice. And then I'm going to check my 6 streams. So comments will stay open even though I end the broadcast. And then after a few minutes there too, I then would leave the studio, which would close down the comments. So anyway, thank you very much, Liza Bell. That was Roe and Bell put together. So Liza Bell, thank you for all the links. Thank you for coming. Thank you for, everything you do. This has been a whirlwind of a day with the Murdaugh and everything. So that's about it. 151:59. So I'm going to hit end broadcast twice. So 3, 2, 1. I hit it the first time. Now I'm going to hit it again. So 3, 2, 1, and then it spins around and then gets off. So 3, 2,